All right, this will be a solution to our Men in Black problem video. An alien's landed on top of the Eiffel Tower. Men in Black happen to be vacationing in Champ de Mars, and they want to know where they should, the angle at which they should aim their laser, their rifle, their gun to be able to hit the alien. Obviously, we're taking some liberties with this problem, like wind, and that's a laser, it's going to shoot straight. But in general, we can kind of model this with the right triangle. So, there's a couple pieces to this problem. There's not a ton of given information other than the fact that we know that they are standing somewhere over here, and the tower, Eiffel Tower, is over here, and the alien is on top. So what we're looking for is this angle of elevation. What angle should the gun be at so that when it shoots at this on the hypotenuse, it shoots that sort of that trajectory, it's going to hit the alien. So there's kind of two ways you can approach this problem. One is, well, if you just draw the triangle straight up like this, without any consideration of the human, you have to realize that the base of this tower is the ground. So when you are finding this angle, the angle is going to be from the ground up to the alien, which isn't necessarily what we want unless Will Smith or whoever it is lying on the ground and has the gun pointed up from the ground. So maybe they have a little sniper set up, who knows, where they're trying to shoot from the ground. If that's your assumption, then finding the angle just straight from the ground is fine, and you really don't have to worry about the height of Will Smith. What you do have to worry about is the distance from the tower to Will Smith. So the distance from the base of the tower to Will Smith in the park. And you also have to worry about the height of the tower. So height of the Eiffel Tower. Okay. That's information we can kind of readily look up. So if I look up the height of the Eiffel Tower, it will tell me height of Eiffel Tower. Says to the tip is 1,063, and is that in feet? Let's see, in feet. Must be. Yeah, 1,000, I'm looking down here, 1,063 feet to the tippy top. So 1,063 feet. So I can think of my triangle. This is 1,063, and I'm going to make sure to be careful with my units. It wouldn't make sense to try to figure out the hypotenuse, the distance from where Will Smith is to the alien, because there's no way I would really be able to know that just off the top of my head, or I couldn't do a quick Google search for that. For the distance between those 2 points, the base of the tower, and we're assuming in the center of that of the park, I'm going to have to use Google pedometer to find that distance. So Google pedometer, I'm going to look up I'll just go ahead and do Champ de Mars. Find. And so here's the center of the park, give or take. And if I kind of zoom in right here, I can see the Eiffel Tower is right here. So there's a pavilion for the Eiffel, and that little symbol right there, if I zoom in, zooming out, is the Eiffel Tower itself. It went away a little bit. So I'm going to, and you didn't have to look up the park too. You could have done just the Eiffel Tower. So Eiffel Tower, either one. So that's the Eiffel Tower right there, basically the same location. So I'm going to click on the center of this park, right there, Champ de Mars, and it kind of curves around that distance. So I'm going to try to make sure it's a straight line. And sometimes you might have to undo the point a little bit and make sure that it's just doing exactly what you want. Oops. All right, so that looks like a pretty good straight line from the center of the park, or give or take that park, Champ de Mars, to the Eiffel Tower. And it tells me that that is a distance of 0.2155 miles. So 0.2155 miles. But I see that this is in miles and that's in feet, so I need to convert one of them. It doesn't matter which one I convert. I'll go ahead and do 2.2155 miles to feet. So Google is going to kind of tell me right off the top there, 1137.84. So 1137.84 feet. And really, I could have done this calculation as well if what we've been doing before, 0.2155 miles. I know if I have miles on the top, I want to have miles on the bottom, and I want to end up in feet. So miles cancels with miles, and I need a conversion from miles and feet, and you might know it, but in 1 mile, there's 5,280 feet. And if you do 5,280, calculator, 5,280 times that 0.2155 should end up being the same thing. 1137.84, 1137.84, perfect. Okay, so right now this angle is going from the ground, the base of the tower, up to that thing. So if our angle, if we want to figure out, if we assume that Will Smith is on the ground, then to figure out this angle, this is the adjacent side, this would be the opposite side. So tangent of x is going to be equal to TOA, opposite, over adjacent. And so that angle would be equal to the inverse tangent of 1063 over 1137.84. And if we do that, CTA calc. Should be
Please prepare yourselves for the afternoon announcements. Come out and support the EA Drum Department as they put on Red for the spring musical. Tickets can be sold by going to locallevelevents.com and searching Eastmore Academy.